Coming to you from the Paranormal Warehouse, Destination Mystery paints the story for paranormal content, abnormal adventures, and the fun behind the investigations. Each week, Mike and Melissa will bring a new adventure that includes going to some of the most remote places in the West. They will tell the story behind the investigation and share with you the evidence they discover. This is not your regular paranormal show. These episodes will bring new content from locations that no one would think to investigate or explore. We will not only tell the spooky story, we will go to the location where the spooky story originated. Fasten your seatbelts as we take you on an adventure that will make you question what's normal and what's paranormal. Hello, paranormal peeps and weird wanderers. Welcome to our 10th Facebook Live show on the Paranormal Warehouse. We are excited to kick off Spooktober, our Spooktober lineup this week. Our first episode is going to be Demon in a Cave. You were supposed to say that, but that's fine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We've chosen
Demon in a Cave.
Demon in a Cave. Can you say it spookier?
Well, I got pretty excited when I saw it, so.
Okay. Can you say it's spooky?
No.
Okay.
Maybe creepy, but it'd be the wrong kind of creepy, so.
We have chosen some of our favorite investigations for October, our Spooktober, and we are very excited to share some of those with you tonight. Tonight we have joining us is Cosette.
Hi.
She joins us on a lot of our investigations. She also happens to be my daughter, and I love having her come. She has a fun personality, an adventurous spirit, and it seems like we always capture something really good when she's there. Kind of like the rake, your daughter, the rake chaser. Mm-hmm. So
we also have Sierra. She's going to say hi.
Yep. Sierra's going to join us this month too. And Sierra is president of our teen paranormal group. But anywho,
we have somebody from Tokyo watching.
Oh, somebody from Tokyo is watching. Irene, thanks for joining us. Cosette and Sierra.
And New Zealand.
Oh, and New Zealand. Thank you for joining us. Sierra and Cosette will both be helping us with comments tonight. So, without further ado, I am Melissa from Ghost Girl Memoirs.
And I'm Mike with Paranormal Treasure Hunter.
I'm Cosette Bailey with Cosette Bailey.
Extraordinaire.
And you are watching Destination Mystery. If you are joining us via podcast tonight, we do a weekly show on the Paranormal Warehouse. It's every Wednesday night at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we turn these episodes into podcasts. This way you can join us whenever it's convenient for you. If you happen to miss any of our evidence or any of the pictures that we share, you can go to our website at www.destination-mystery.com. And we have a link to our blog there where I will share the information from our show. You can also watch our show on our Facebook page the next day. And that's just Destination-Mystery on Facebook. You can listen to our podcasts. They are available on Spotify, Google, Apple, and anywhere where you listen to your podcasts. And if you wouldn't mind sharing, and subscribing, we would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're watching right now, if you wouldn't mind sharing, that will help us get the word out, and we would appreciate it. And you said we had a few other people joining?
Yep. Hi, Lynn from Australia and Jenny from Mississippi.
And we've got Raquel from
Logan.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Tonight is probably not going to be a family show, only because it's a little spooky. It's up to you whether or not you want to have your kids join. Just what we caught as a little
unsettling.
At least for us it was. I couldn't sleep alone the next night, so and not a lot scares me.
Oh yeah, we all slept in the living room.
She coaxed my daughters into sleeping in the living room with her.
We had a summer party, and I still didn't sleep that well.
So this is an interactive show. Please feel free to comment. We've got, like I said, we have Cosette and Sierra that are watching comments tonight. And we would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I wanted to give a shout out real quick to Sarah Bowman. She sent this book called it's called The Spiritual Rebel, a positively addictive guide to finding deeper perspective and a higher purpose. And you can follow her on Instagram at Spiritually Rebellious. And I'm super excited to get into this book. It sounds like it's right up my alley. I'm a very spiritual person, but in a different rebellious kind of way. So I'm excited about that. So thank you for sending that to me, Sarah. And what else do we want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to, we got the tuberculosis hospital all lined up and ready to go.
Sweet.
Today, we have room for 2 more people if anybody is interested in joining us. This will be on October 23rd, and we're going to the Idaho Tuberculosis Hospital in Gooding, Idaho. And we are doing a full night investigation. We have the entire West Wing, which is pretty much the whole hospital.
It's 3 floors, right?
3 floors. Should be a lot of fun. I will warn you that we are not your typical investigation team. We do things slightly different, but we get results.
We bring our kids, so.
We have teenagers, but I think that a lot of why we get results because we have a wide variety of, we have adults, teenagers, kids, men, women, all ethnicities, you name it. We got them all there. So I think that's why we get results. We have
Irene said I shared with my group and other groups affiliated in the groups in England and Scotland with me.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Irene.
And then Darwin from Wisconsin.
I think Darwin joined us last week.
And then Tice.
And Tice from Utah. Thanks for joining us. Tice was actually with us on this investigation. So if you have anything to add, Tice, feel free. And is it Darren? It's Darren, right?
Oh, Darren.
Darren joined us last week. So thanks for joining us again, Darren. Who's the creepy little dude in your window?
It's one of my kids. No, it's keeping the dog away. The dog's scared of it.
All right.
Except I put him on the wrong side.
We're ready to go, Mike.
Are you ready to get into this?
Yep.
If you've noticed at the beginning of the trailer we always play, there's an image, and a lot of the images from the trailer are about tonight's episode. We went into this without any expectation whatsoever of finding anything. Hey, Melissa, bring up that picture, the first one, just so they can see what the
crater?
Yeah. This is what Idaho is. A very beautiful state, but parts of it, or a good part of it, look like this: sagebrush and lava rock. There's not a lot around, but there are trails that wander through all these rocks and crevices, and there's miles and miles and miles of lava tubes. And I don't know if you know what a lava tube is, but when there's a volcano, the lava comes up out of the ground and then it flows along, and the ends harden, but the center keeps flowing, and eventually it all flows out and it leaves these giant holes, tubes, tunnels, and they're all over the place. And I really enjoy going through all these caves. They don't change very often, but they're still fun to go into. There's bats and yeah.
The picture I'm sharing, is that a crater?
Yes. If you look, you can't see over to your right. Right there's, well, not above the trees, there's an opening.
Oh, right here.
That is where the lava flowed out, and you can't see it from here, but it flows down this huge river, and it flows for miles and miles. Parts of it have collapsed, parts of it are underground, and it goes on for miles. I have yet to be able to explore the whole thing. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than it looks right there, and you can't see the bottom, but lots of times it's full of water. And we walked down there once, and we were sitting on the rocks looking in the water, joking about fishing in there. And it may have been our imagination, but we swear there was a white, not a fish, I don't know what it was, but figure that came to the surface. It had to have been our imaginations, but
Could it have possibly been what we saw in the cave?
Possibly.
White?
Possibly, yeah. The rake. Anyway,
Oh, rake.
That's another story.
Go ahead, Cosette.
Hunter says this trip was fun. She was with us on this one.
Is that Hunter our niece?
Hunter Wade, yeah.
She was also on the investigation, and if you want to share anything later, Hunter, feel free.
We're going to talk about her actually in a few minutes. So, anyway, so this area is closed a lot of the part of the year for elk to refuge in, but as soon as it opens up, we go out there and lots of people look for elk horns, antlers. We go into certain caves because some of them have ice crystals in them, and they're cool to go see. You look at that picture and you think it's always hot and dry, but it gets pretty cold. And those caves have ice in them year round. They're pretty chilly. And when I was a scout, about 10 years old, we drove out there as a scout group to explore one of the ice caves. And this ice cave, at that point, had a rope. It went down a waterfall, and you climb down the rope and go to another level. And there was hand hold and feet holds chipped into the ice so you could climb down. Not much room was left. My uncle told us that when he was a kid, there were multiple layers and you could go quite a ways, but with time, the melting and thawing, it has been filled up. So, and today all you can see is the stake and the rope going, because it's kind of clear going down into that cave. But as a scout, I remember going south and finding another cave, and I was 10 years old, so I didn't go back for another 10 years till I got a driver's license. And I looked for that cave for the last 10 years, and I could never find it. But recently, we found that cave again. And when you can't see it until you're standing right on it. And once you go down inside, it's kind of a bubble. And there are little holes in the ceiling, and there's light in there, and it's kind of like a room. And then it slowly corkscrews down into the ground. And I was pretty excited to see that. So this
picture of you crawling into it, I'll put it up, I think.
Show the picture of that entrance. It's not the same entrance, but it looks similar.
Hold on. I think I have it. Just a sec. Keep talking.
So one thing we learned from this, though, is you probably ought to wear a helmet, because we kept hitting our head, especially when you can't bend over like you used to.
Or you slip on the ice and
you slip on the ice and hit your head. And if you ever go into a cave, dress warmly, wear good shoes, bring lots of flashlight and batteries, because it is rocky, it is dangerous, and it is fun. Watch out for bats too.
Yeah. So I have a couple of little videos of us hiking through. I mean, just short little clips I can show. I don't know if we want the audio or not, because we're kind of stupid when we talk.
Can you turn the audio off?
Yeah, I can turn the audio off. Do you want the audio off or on?
How stupid are we?
We're pretty stupid, but I guess that's part
if they haven't found that out by now.
They're still watching, so.
Okay. Here is, oh my gosh, where is it?
Now, we are miles and miles from a paved road. We are miles from electrical poles, from any type of electrical interference. We are a long ways from anywhere. And we're fairly deep in the ground, too, at this point when we start our investigation. But I just had to throw that in there.
All right, here's one of us descending into the cave.
One of us?
I mean, one of the videos is what I meant to say. Don't listen to my laugh.
Did I fall in this one?
Nope. Not
I don't think we got the video of you falling.
We go.
We got a picture.
I'm gonna whack this on something.
This is why we don't get a lot of video, because it's hard to do both at the same time.
I think there've been a lot of parties in that part of the cave. There's Cosette.
There's Tyus.
There's Tice. It's not Justin Bieber. I know he looks like him, but
There's the right chase.
And you'll never live it down.
See, I'm stupid. There's Michael's bomb.
That's a nice shot right there, boy.
man,
Nice shot, man.
maybe you should turn the video off.
It's almost done. Okay, we're done.
We go.
Okay. Well,
Thanks for the butt shot.
anytime.
Mm-hmm.
More than happy to provide that. There's one more.
Well, that one's like inside. Or are we waiting to talk about the inside?
Okay, we're getting ready
Oh, this is as we get to the first level. Here's the second level.
Oh, yeah.
to head into the devil's butthole.
Who said that?
Little did we know.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Little did we know.
maybe it's because you said that.
Maybe he was
I
mad.
can't walk. Okay, we're
He was not happy. Okay, finish, Michael. I'm sorry.
I didn't see anything there.
You didn't see it?
I heard it, but I didn't see anything.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Well, you said devil's butthole and it was all black, so I don't know.
oh my gosh. Why is this so hard?
okay. We're getting.
Do you see it right now?
No.
Oh, yeah, this is what it looked like for them.
Oh man. Someday I'm gonna get the hang of this. Sorry. Here you go. Ready?
Okay, we're getting ready to head into the devil's butthole.
You only heard the
Well, that's what I did. I didn't know what a rake
And it's really dark.
Why a rake would be?
We're talking about a rake, so who knows?
Really should stop talking about rakes and caves.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably stop all that dirt. I mean, all that. Yeah. Anywho, go ahead.
devil's buttholes, they call it.
Well, what should we say more about that cave? There's not a lot. It kind of corkscrews into the ground with a slight twist. It's pretty round in most places. That one's a little easier to walk in than some. But there is ice all along the bottom of it.
Yeah, in that area, isn't there? There's actually 3 caves pretty close to each other.
3 caves, yeah. One of them's called, one of them has vapor crystals in it, which is when the water vapor forms, it leaves these little crystals, and there's 3 rooms. We probably ought to do one on that too, but man, talk about, some of them look like lily pads, some look like little temples, and some, it's just beautiful. But you got to get in there really early or they melt. So, yeah, but there's 3 of them right in that area.
When we did this investigation, the very first cave you come upon, there was a bunch of teenagers. I'm being like discriminatory when I made that comment. I didn't mean, because we always had teenagers, but anywho, there was a bunch of kids in that cave, so we decided to move on and do the last one first and then head our way back. But anyway, so there were other people in that first cave. That's why we went and did the 3rd one first.
Yeah, we started at the end and then made our way back.
But we tend to scare people away when we go places, so I don't know why we didn't just.
And I don't know if it's our personalities or the stuff we talk about or both, but
Oh
well.
I was gonna say something. Well, I mean, the ice caves in the spring are of one of our favorite traditions. We started doing that one because when you were in high school.
Oh, yeah.
4-wheeling up there, and we try to get in like April-ish because the water's all frozen, and parts of it you can actually like slide down. It's like a frozen water slide. But if you go too late in the year, there's a lot of water that you have to.
There's a couple comments.
Oh, question. Yeah.
Somebody asked if children with autism tend to draw spirits to them.
I've heard that they do. We actually have a friend who lives in a haunted location who has an autistic son, and he claims that there is a little girl ghost that protects him.
Hunter could probably comment on that one.
So yeah, Hunter, if you want to comment on that one.
There's one.
I have seen them looking up at something and talking to them, and they're up in the corner of a room, and you could tell they were talking to somebody.
I believe they have an extra sense or
I think so
an
too.
ability that they can communicate.
And I think those people are helping them helping them out.
I agree.
We missed one more. It says, She's going to a haunted attraction called Fright Nights at Boone Hall this Halloween. First time in 4 to 5 years. I've always been terrified of places like that. Any tips on not being scared?
Boone Hall
In SC,
South Carolina. That sounds like fun.
I first heard of
It
this.
does.
We should go.
I mean, take some deep breaths, meditate before you go in. Just remember that you have power over what you allow into your space and what you allow to control you, etc. And there's really nothing to be afraid of. I believe there are good and evil spirits, but you'll attract what you focus on.
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, I don't know, not in this case.
Yeah, but I think there's a reason for what we found.
Darren asked what equipment we took with us on this. I think on this one.
We had a lot of flashlights. We had Michael's thermal, which has turned out to be our best piece of equipment ever. We had a spirit box, an EVP recorder,
45 and a 4-wheeler.
45.
That wouldn't have done any good for what we found. But
We had some garlic and some steaks.
that was for my sandwich, though.
No, I think that's it.
Good cheese.
Cheese sticks.
We're really hoping to get like an IR camera, and I would love to get a drone.
Oh.
A drone. So that, because we could have captured like the lava coming out of that crater a little bit better. There's a lot of equipment
That lava happened a million years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the rocks that are left over.
Oh, the lady who asked about the autism, she said what you both have said for autistic children I have seen with my son many times.
So I'm assuming your son is autistic.
What did she say?
She said what you both have said with the autism children I have seen with my son multiple times.
We have 2 autistic nephews and an autistic niece.
And Hunter, the one that's commenting to everybody, that's her siblings.
Uh-huh. She's
just talking with them.
Did she say anything other than what we've mentioned?
She said there's an autistic boy in St. Anthony that says he has a ghost girl that protects him from the bad ghosts, and I totally believe that they have an extra sense that can sense things, different kinds of things. Yeah.
I agree, and I agree. And I think I just think they have that ability to be able to sense, kind of like animals, maybe. I mean, just they're probably more in tune and more aware than we are.
Yeah.
About knocked me out of my chair.
So, do you want to mention what happened in that cave, like what people did in there, or should we wait until after we show?
Well, this cave isn't as widely known as the other two. The top half had, a bonfire and some graffiti, but the bottom I don't remember seeing much of it. That is something that we would like to eliminate, is graffiti and vandalism of these caves, because you can, even if you're using chalk, it doesn't go away. It'll stay there forever. I've seen 40, 50-year-old stuff in those caves. So please don't do that. Don't throw your stupid glow sticks down on the ground, and don't spray paint or
leave your
use
trash.
chalk in them. Yeah. Leave your trash and your beer cans. What were you wanting to talk about that was inside the cave? Some of the witchcraftery.
Yeah. You want to talk about that now or after we show what we show?
Well, go ahead. Tell us what you think.
Well, when we were teenagers, in the 80s, it was like the 70s and 80s, there was just this whole, the occult was like a big thing, and people were dabbling in the arts, and they thought it was a lot of fun to, go out and try and summon things they shouldn't summon. And it was just during that time, it was a pretty big thing. And especially where we grew up, because there was nothing to do. So people got creative and tried their own kind of fun. And there's a lot of places around where we grew up where there were a lot of satanic rituals, and they were trying to do things that, I don't know.
I didn't know they were doing them in these caves. I knew they do them out by the Teton Dam, but I didn't know they were doing them in these caves.
I heard they were.
You did hear that? I hadn't, but I suspect maybe that is why we got what we got.
I do
I'm
too.
sure it is.
Oh man.
Darn. Keep calling Darwin. Darren
Sorry.
says a body cam would be cool.
I
body
agree. It's like a why are words so hard for me?
Like a GoPro?
Yes.
Oh.
And I have one, but I fell and broke it. So, and I used it for a while. It did work really well because I could put it either like right on my chest or on my head. I broke it. So a body cam, I would love to have an IR body cam. That's something I want to invest in.
And then Anne, the one with the autistic, she said her son with autism plays with Johnny in the closet and they play toys, and Johnny is a spirit.
I'm glad to hear that they play together.
Yeah, me too.
With their friends. That's cool. So I wonder if Johnny, do you have an older home where Johnny possibly passed away in that house, or
Was a relative?
a relative,
Or even like I've heard of people like miscarriages with their siblings.
True. Something like that. That'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, that would.
Why Johnny's there, or maybe he's just there. Maybe they were friends before they came to Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, we want to show one more video, unless you have something else to add.
Nope.
Okay, this just kind of shows you how dangerous these kids are and why I may have possibly fallen and broken my camera.
You have a video of that?
Is this the one I fall?
No, but Tice almost falls. You watching, Tice?
I think he is.
Where is it? Oh,
It's always the media player windows.
thanks.
Ah,
You can see all that.
This is definitely an Indiana Jones cave.
Whoa, look at that.
We survived on the booby trap.
oh, that one's cool.
Oh, it's way cool.
Looks
Looks
like
like an
cave
angel wing.
bacon.
Bacon.
Yeah, it looks like a wing.
Thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah, mine had the least path of ice.
What?
Anywho, that's just
That's Tice falling.
yeah, that's Tice falling in the back. This one is actually not as icy as the others, but it's hard to tell, but the whole floor is pretty much just ice. So it's slippery,
Very.
and Michael's hitting.
Hitting his head.
I'm struggling.
I done hit it.
I done hit it a couple times.
He hit his booty on a stalagmite.
Oh yeah, that was unpleasant.
There were a lot
Both
of,
of us,
yeah.
me and the stalactite.
Yeah, that was some painful to watch.
Wrecked him, dang near killed him. Anyway,
yeah,
going off
so
topic.
be careful and don't take your really good.
We really should get some hard hats
We should
with the lights on them.
probably some better shoes, some knee pads.
Ads.
We all fall every time we go.
Yeah,
Darren says, when you guys go on your investigation, do you believe in holy water or is it just water?
I know.
I don't think so.
I personally think
Do we know enough about it to say?
no. We don't use it. Not because we don't believe it works, just because I kind of, like I said, I just feel like you're kind of in control of your own space and you allow into it what you want to, I guess. I always we never try to taunt or invite anything. I mean, our investigations are we don't ever do that. We're never trying to look for it. Not that it hasn't shown up, but we don't let it follow us, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But no, we don't ever use holy water, but I don't think there's anything wrong with using holy water. I think it's perfectly fine.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should. Okay. you have anything to add before we do a sponsor break?
Let's do the sponsor break and then get into the session. What you got?
Okay.
'Cause I'm dying to show this last part. I'm dying to.
Okay. Cosette is going. I'm going to turn the time over to Cosette. She's going to give a word about our sponsor.
Are you tired of dealing with poor water pressure? Is the euphoria you experienced during your spooky dookie ruined by the rejection of an ungrateful toilet that hasn't been flushed properly for as long as you can remember? Maybe your pipes look terrible and you just can't stand looking at the mess the half-assed plumber, pun intended, left in your mechanical room. Life doesn't have to be this way, and you don't have to be embarrassed about your plumbing anymore. Give us a call. The Idaho Falls Plumbing Company is here for you. Be proud of your pipes. 208-569-9743. That is the phone number, 208-569-9743.
And we will testify that they do great work.
They do a good job.
Really good job.
They really do.
Spooky dookies. So if you have
Dookies.
spooky dookie,
I was trying to keep it together.
and I think it was Darren that actually commented last week about how we should do a Bigfoot commercial for the Idaho Falls Plumbing Company. And I told Chad that, and so I think he's going to come up with one. We may need you, Mike, to put on the Bigfoot costume so we can film it.
When Bigfoot's taking a spooky dookie, you need the good pipes from Idaho Falls Plumbing.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So I just wanted to, put another. We don't have a lot of fancy equipment, and if you're into investigating the paranormal or going on these fun adventures, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. Just go with what you have, and you can still get stuff. We have a few cool items, but not a lot. What did Darren say?
Gina is just laughing about that, and then she said, "I think I may have found our new investigation team name, Spooky Dookie."
Oh, that's a good name. I like that.
Dookies.
She came up with that one.
Spooky Dookie. Maybe we can join forces one of these days, Gina. Destination mystery with the Spooky Dookie. So we had our thermal. We had an EVP recorder, our EMF detector, I forgot to mention that, and a spirit box, and some cameras.
Cell phones.
And our gun, and I think that's it. We started off, so we went through the cave, we walked through the whole thing. How big would you say it is?
Half a mile long, maybe.
There are parts of it that you kind of have to crawl through. For the most part, you can walk through it, or at least walk.
You didn't have to crawl, but you had to duck.
Duck. Well, true. Some of our team members had to crawl, like Tice. I didn't have to crawl. I
just crouched.
Yeah, but so we went through the whole cave, kind of explored everything. We did some EMF reads to see if we got anything, if there was any unusual, and there wasn't. We didn't have anything that was weird come up on our EMF. And then we came back through, and about halfway through, we found a nice place to kind of sit and do a session. So we did a spirit box session and an EVP session, and everybody kind of has their little duty when we're doing this, their little spooky duty. I usually ask the questions, or start it anyway. I don't always ask all the questions, but I usually start it. We have somebody on the EMF. We have somebody or a few different people recording. Michael always has the thermal, and he's checking everything all around us. We set the EMF, or not the EMF, the EVP, kind of off to the side, just so nobody bumps it or affects it in any way. And we'll just sit down and be as quiet as we possibly can so that we can start the session and not have anything pop up that would be because of us. So I always introduce our group. I give our names, what our intentions are, which is, we're curious about the afterlife. We want to know if there's anybody around that would be willing to talk to us. We have questions, that sort of thing. So I did that. I did my normal thing. And then here are some of the questions I asked. What was this cave used for? if there's anyone here, can you say hello? That one is one that I ask a lot because we get a lot of hellos back. A lot.
Lows and highs.
Hellos and highs. How long has this cave been around? Were you able to explore the whole cave before the water got too high? Pretty soon we're not going to be able to get in there because it is rising. I asked, are you an explorer? And then I said, if you're trying to talk to us, we can hear you with this device I have in my hand. I asked if this was a good place to hide. Were you a hunter? Have you ever had anyone come here and talk to you before? I can almost guarantee we're the first ones that did this.
I'm pretty sure about that one.
If there's anybody else who's done this that has found anything, I would like to know. But the cave isn't well known, and it's
hard to find.
It's hard to find. It's kind of nice to walk through because it's one of them that isn't all graffitied up.
Probably, yeah, people don't know it's there.
Mm-mm.
I didn't even realize it.
I wouldn't have known
until we got to the entrance. I was like, oh, this is a cave.
Yeah. Well, you could almost go over the top of it and not even know. I asked, you see the little green light on the rock. If you stand closer, it'll turn a different color. I don't think it ever changed, which was kind of weird. I don't think we ever got any readings off the EMF. Then I asked, what is your name? And then I asked, what year were you born? And I got, now at the time we didn't hear it, but when I was going back through the audio, I got what sounded like a shh. But if you hear anything different, let me know. So I'll share that.
Darren says we should try different colored flashlights for conversations.
I actually just ordered some, Darren, and I'm going to try them on our tuberculosis investigation. I'm really excited about that. So,
what does that mean?
You know how we had the flashlight that one night and it turned on?
Uh-huh.
So you can have different colored ones.
For yes and no.
Oh. Okay.
But we've done it twice where it's turned on and tried to answer questions. That's last time it tried to turn off, but it was like it didn't have enough energy.
It was like,
because I said,
flashing, or
if that was you, can you turn it off? And it immediately dimmed, but it didn't go all the way off.
Get all the way off, but he tried.
So I've ordered some. Hopefully they'll be here in time. All right, here's the first.
The shh.
The shh.
We think.
It's what I thought it said, but my hearing's bad.
What year were you born?
I'll play it again.
What year were you born?
Just kind of weird. Maybe that's a hiss.
I don't know. I can't tell what that one is at all.
And I know there's no electrical interferences from power lines or substations because we are miles from anything like that.
Plus, we're so deep inside the cave that like our cell phones and stuff wouldn't even work. And even like my spirit box wasn't picking up any radio stations at all.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
What method?
Oh, yes.
What is that?
The Estes method is when you put on the noise canceling headphones.
We do that a lot, actually.
We do that a lot. We didn't do that with this one, but
we didn't think we were going to get anything.
No, I really didn't think we were going to get anything, and we're just kind of testing it out to see. But
I wish we would.
That was one of our first ones, wasn't it?
It was. Yep. One of our first ones. But yes, the Estes method works really well. We've done it on multiple occasions and had some really good success. One time in particular that you were there on
the house,
and you were the one listening.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever did it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I didn't think I was answering questions, but then we played it back and I was answering exactly what they were asking.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Because you're not, the reason I like that is because you're not affected. So what you hear isn't affected by
the questions.
So you know you're not just saying what you think you want to hear.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so then we ask, did you hide here? Are you from here? Are you a trapper? Are you a sheep herder? There's a lot of sheep around, so I wondered if maybe they used the cave for shelter. Did you hide something in this cave? Did you hide treasure in the cave? Were you hiding from the law? How do you feel when people come to the cave and paint the walls? How do you feel when people leave their trash in the cave? I did kind of feel a little bit of a heavier atmosphere when I started asking those questions, which tells me either they didn't like it or something was trying to manifest at that point. And then I just let them know again, hey, we're here because we're curious about what happens after we die. Could you help us find some answers? And then I asked, do you come here to be alone? Can you tell us your name? Come closer to the green light and we'll know you're here. And at that point, I did see what I thought was a shadow in the back part of the cave, but it's hard to tell because it's so dark. So I'm not positive. And then I asked, how many of us do you see? We did get something come across, but couldn't tell what it said. So I don't know if it was an answer.
Well, somebody was asking what we're using to review your recordings. Isn't it Adobe?
It's an Adobe Audition. And if there's anything better that anybody has found.
Hecka expensive.
Yeah, well, I get this for free because I'm a student, but if you know of anything better, I'd love to hear what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But Adobe Audition, I found it works pretty well, and it's fairly easy to use. For the normal person, it would be fairly easy to use. For me, it takes some. Anyway, and then we got our evidence, our big,
the finale.
The finale. And we did get a couple of other things too, but this is where the finale comes in. This is probably the best evidence we've ever captured.
This is what made us decide to do this podcast.
Yeah, we've always thought a podcast would be kind of fun, but after we did this and got this evidence, we were like, oh my gosh, we've got to.
This was the night we came up with Destination Mystery.
It is the night we came up with our name.
Because we couldn't sleep because we were scared. So we sat around and talked about podcast names.
We did.
We can't explain this. This is, I can't explain.
I feel like this is one of the more clear words you've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the most words we've gotten a sequence too.
Yeah, like
it's a full sentence. At the time, we didn't hear it though.
No.
You got the little thing on your thermal, but we didn't hear what it said until afterwards.
And the audio and the video are fairly close to each other in time, right?
Yep.
They didn't occur at the same time, but they were fairly close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, within minutes.
Seconds, probably.
Yeah, pretty close.
So, without further ado, we're going to show you what we caught, and we hope you get the same reaction we did.
So real quick, I have a thermal imager. It's a small one I use for work, but I hold my cell phone up on record to record what's coming off the thermal imager. So it's recorded onto a cell phone because that's how technical I am.
We need to get one that already records.
They're expensive. Aren't they like $400 for?
Wow.
My cheap little one was $300, so a recording one's $12,000. I don't know. They're expensive to get a decent one.
But of all the pieces of equipment, most paranormal investigators say this is one you can't fake it. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
you can't fake. Well, I guess you can fake others.
I don't know how.
I don't know how.
If you capture something on this, it's probably there. I don't know how you would fake it. So let me put you in the scene. So we're all sitting in the cave. I myself am sitting with my back against the cave wall. It's pitch dark.
This is at the very end of the cave.
Yeah.
We're at the very end of the cave, yeah.
You couldn't go
any further. You're right. We were at the end. My back is to the cave. I'm completely alone. There's nobody next to me. And the figure you're going to see starting out is me. I'm asking the question.
And you have the GoPro type thing on top of your head. That's what the box looking thing is.
Oh, that's before I broke it.
Before you fell and broke it, yeah.
That's what that is. Okay. Yep. So I did have
it's not a horn.
It's not a horn. And I did have one, but it's broken now. Okay.
Your horn or the
both. All right, here we go.
Who is living in this cave?
Okay.
So if you didn't capture all that, I got chills. So that's me with the dark, hot face on the thermal. I don't know why it was cold in the cave.
So red is warm, white is really warm, black is cold, and purple is just a hair warmer than the black, I believe. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, you notice the temperature is 34 degrees, which is pretty consistent throughout the cave.
The whole cave was pretty close, though.
Yeah, pretty much what it is year round, I think.
It was like 32 to 35 the whole time we were in there.
Mm-hmm. And it starts out with, the temperature's at 34 degrees, and then all of a sudden, the thermal glitches. Have you ever seen your thermal do that before?
Yes. One time it did that. Oh. We were in the reform school, and we caught that other footage. That's the only other time it glitched.
Which is where that autistic boy lives, who has a girl that protects him from...
Oh, the one we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
Interesting.
So that's another story, too, though.
That's another one, yep, that we'll get to. But so the temperature's 34, the thermal glitches and rises to 622 degrees. We're glad it didn't go to 666 degrees. But
I went back to look to make sure it didn't go to that.
I did too. I did too. But you'll see it rise 622 degrees Fahrenheit right there. And then we captured the unsettling audio, and which we didn't hear at the time, but I remember going through the audio when we were all back at the house afterwards, and I heard the word Satan, and I freaked out.
She threw her headphones down.
I threw my headphones
down. Threw them on the table and slid back.
But I didn't say anything to anybody. I said, listen to this and tell me what you say or what you hear. And another member of our group who's listening tonight, who's Tice, said he heard darkness from Satan. But then when Cosette went through and listened to it and put the video together, we actually caught darkness sent from Satan.
Yeah, there's definitely 4 words.
Yep. So here it is.
I was living in this cave.
So we got a full sentence there.
And a human.
And this figure appears. And the thing that was a little disturbing with this was, okay, so he just magically appears. You'll see the thermal kind of glitch.
Yeah, glitches again. Like it did at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. And you'll see the temperature drop from 34 to 28.
You might just have to play it.
Oh. Glitch.
Watch how slowly he fades in, too. He fades in slowly.
Yep.
And then disappears abruptly.
And as he's fading in, the temperature's dropping.
There he is. Look at the temperature. 28. So it dropped a whole 5-6 degrees. And you can see, here's the face.
And the shoulder.
Can you see my pointer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it.
So here's the face. You can see what looks like to be a shoulder. Here's the body. You don't see legs, but...
Fingers are curled up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see a hand.
True, right there.
Yeah,
it's almost like a fist.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Oh, my gosh, I never even noticed that.
Yeah. And the wrist, shoulder.
And what kind of confuses me about this is his face is the same temperature as mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I think it's a he, but I'm assuming.
He's got to be pretty...
He's big.
Tall, yeah.
His shoulders...
But his back is ice cold.
Yeah. And all the other pictures that we've captured on your thermal have been ice cold. You can tell it's not a human.
Well, the humans glow right. Red. Except for Michelle's feet. They're purple.
But you can see me, and I'm red and white all the way.
Uh-huh.
Even my horn.
What I'm wondering about this, even your horn, yeah. But what I'm wondering about this picture is he, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Oh my gosh, did your
Is he absorbing your energy, your heat? Because if it's not a human being, there shouldn't be any color to it. We shouldn't be able to see it.
right?
So, and I have taken other thermal imaging pictures of reflections of us off of like a window, and it reflects the heat. So I'm wondering if, I don't have an explanation for this, but that is a thought, is why is the front side of it glowing red and not the back side, or glowing yellow and red?
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's got to be getting energy from something, and he could also be taking it from your thermal because it's glitching out. But
Yeah, that's true.
you would think it would need more energy than that to do what it just did.
We should have put the slow-mo video in here.
Oh yeah.
After he captured this, Mike goes, but we had it in slow-mo, and it sounded really
It sounded like a growl. Yeah. But other members thought they heard a growl.
Me and Michelle didn't go clear back with you guys. We stood a little bit further. We kind of got freaked out. And we heard I thought it was a bobcat or mountain lion or something in there. It was a growl. Very loud.
Yeah, so there were other members that did hear a growl. We don't know, but it was sometime while we were
during the session.
The session only lasted approximately 13 minutes. So
within that, we heard a growl.
Mhm.
I think Taylor might have stood back with us too.
yeah,
it was pretty cold in there
it was cold in there.
And
after sweating a lot.
Had to like crawl under all those icicles and stuff.
Yep.
We could hear what you guys are saying. We just didn't go clear.
Play it forward just a little bit till that red spot comes up.
You mean go back?
No.
Wait, whoops. Oh,
We can forward.
I want to go forward.
Just let it play.
Right there.
Right there.
Go back a little bit.
Right there. Pause it. See that red spot?
Yeah.
Like on
That
this
is heat
button?
in his back.
Yeah.
Oh, look, right here is like see-through too.
Push play.
Yeah. But above it, can you point up where that red spot is?
Right here.
It was dark.
Yeah. Is that about where Hunter said she got poked in the back?
Oh,
Good
yeah.
question, Hunter. Can you answer that for us?
I forgot.
One of our team members was touched. I don't know if she was touched or like poked in the back, but when we got out of the cage, she looked at her back and there was a mark. So Hunter, you can see where that light is on this figure's back. We're curious to know if that's the same area where you got poked. And you can see like down here, he's almost see-through.
Yeah.
Now, look above your head in that picture too. What do you see?
I noticed that too, but I wasn't sure. That looks like a face.
Sure looks like a face to me too.
Yeah.
She said, I think that is the right spot, Hunter.
That's weird. So I wonder
I never thought of that.
if whoever this is or whatever entity this is, if something happened in that spot. And Hunter was sitting over to the left of me, which
To your left, yeah.
he's on the same side as me, just over on this other. So this face that you see right here
That is behind you on the wall. Or
Yeah. could have been what poked Hunter.
I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because she was like, who poked me?
Yeah,
But she's against the wall, so nobody
she was against the wall. Nobody could have poked her. We were all against the wall. So, and then you'll notice the temperature drops from 34 to 28 degrees when the figure appears.
And then back up. As soon as it goes
And then
away.
boom, the figure disappears. And there goes the temperature back up. It's crazy.
play it one more time, just for
Kicks and giggles.
yeah.
Kicks and giggles. You can also just play the audio too. If there's one here.
True.
Who was living in this cave?
You have it in slow mo too.
That's all right.
I don't.
You can clearly hear what it says.
Man.
Hunter said I got poked right between the shoulder blades, about at that height.
Interesting.
I'm glad I didn't hear that when I was in the cave, because
Me
both
too.
of those things would have bothered me.
I had a thumbprint mark on my back for about a day, and then it disappeared. That's what Hunter said.
That's weird.
A thumb.
That's really strange. And the other, so we did capture one more thing, which I thought was a hiss, but Cosette and Michael heard something else. Your little dude in the background is freaking me out. Okay.
Is he moving?
He's winking at me.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Darren said be careful about matrixing, seeing the unseen.
I don't know what that is, Darren.
Explain.
Explain what that is.
Be careful what?
He said be careful about matrixing, see the unseen.
Matrixing, see the unseen.
Elaborate, please. I don't know what that is, but I need to know. If I need to be careful, I need to know. Okay.
We're gonna be scared.
Well, we are careful now.
Yeah, we are for sure. Do you see something right there too?
It's the dog.
That's a dog.
I don't
Where?
know.
Something else behind you besides the little dude. You have a witch back there too?
Uh-oh.
Michael, I lost you. Did you hit your mute? There you go. Okay. So we captured one more piece of audio, which sounded like to me it sounded like a hiss. So tell me what you hear. And you'll hear me go, what? Because Michael just went, because he saw what came up on his thermal, and I'm like, what? You're freaking me out. Like, what did you see? So you'll hear me do that, and then we hear what sounds like a hiss. Or
something else.
Something else.
What? It's freaking me out.
So to me, it sounded like a hiss, but I'll play the last part again. And Michael and Cosette heard cave. And I think you're right. That is what it says. I'll play it one more time. Yep. I think that's what it is. It says cave.
Oh, yeah.
What did it say?
He said matrix seeing is where you think you are seeing something, then you can't get it out of your mind. But it might be a reflection. Same thing with audio as well. Goes with the same effect.
Oh.
Like what?
Oh, I'm wondering if you're referring to the image on the back of the cave, because it's like, it looks like a face. So that's what you automatically think it is, and you can't unsee it.
Unsee it.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're right.
And also, like, once you hear
darkness sent from Satan,
you can't hear anything
that's
else.
all you can hear, right?
How many people did we have listen to that before we?
There was all four of your girls. Me and Tice, you, Melissa.
Before we said what we thought it was, we had a
we
bunch
all
of
listened
people.
to it, and we, at the count of three, we all said what we thought, and it was all the same.
Whenever I get it, like a piece of really good audio, I never say what I think it is until I've had somebody else listen to it, or a couple of people listen to it, because I want to know if they're hearing the same thing I am.
Maybe we should write it down instead of say it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea, and then see what everybody wrote down.
Then see what everybody wrote down. Let's try that next time.
And film it so that we can be authentic. But yeah, we went around the table and everybody listened to it, and we all heard Satan. And then there were a few other people that heard darkness. From Satan. And then when Cosette did the video, it's definitely darkness sent from Satan. That's what it sounds like.
Now, did you feel anything in that cave besides cold?
Like I said, when we started asking questions about the people leaving their trash and writing on the walls and stuff, I got it seemed like the atmosphere started to get heavy, but I wouldn't say that I was uncomfortable.
Michelle and I were uncomfortable.
Other members of the group were uncomfortable, but I think Michelle is also more sensitive. I have learned to block a lot out, so I don't think I feel what I don't know. I've learned to block a lot of things out.
I was uncomfortable because it was getting colder and the rock was sharp. but that was it. I didn't
And
feel
you fell on
anything.
a stalagmite.
And I sat on a stalagmite.
But afterwards, we thought, why didn't we feel more than, if that's what it says and that's what we captured, like, why wouldn't we have felt more? And so I thought, well, was it residual?
Oh, maybe it's because we weren't looking for that, so we didn't.
Maybe it's because we weren't there looking for it. But then I thought, okay, if it's residual, why would it have answered our question? So I don't think it was residual. And I do believe that what we captured was brought on by the people who were trying to bring that in before we got there. Because we definitely weren't. I still see something in your window.
Where?
It looks like a dog.
To me, it looks like a witch. Anyway, we're about to run out of time, but somebody's staring in your window besides the little dude.
Which one?
The one right next to him.
Right next to it on the other door, underneath the spider.
Is it a spider?
Yeah, what spider are you
It's
talking
like a
about?
purple spider.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's our China goldfish bowl.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh, I see it
watch
now.
out.
It looks like a witch. Anyway, so we just have a lot of questions about that video, like, because I've been pretty spooked before, but I wasn't super spooked in this cave. Maybe it's because we've been there a lot. My question to you, Cosette, is, so this is a tradition of ours. Would you go back?
No.
We haven't gone back since we got that.
Not that.
That's the only time you've been in that cave.
Yeah.
Cosette, it is?
Yeah, I've only ever gone to the first two, and this was the third one, right?
Yeah, this is the only time that I've taken you guys to that one. So that's the only time you've been to that one.
That specific one.
You've been to the other two, but not that one.
I was thinking.
Because I hadn't found it until.
No, yeah, we went to the other two because the other ones
You're
were
right.
a little bit bigger.
Would you ever go back, Mike? Yeah.
I was freaked out before we heard that.
I like caves.
I think
Love
I
caves.
would go back, but I would definitely put my guard up. But the thing, like, after we heard that audio and stuff, and I saw the figure staring at me, it was almost like he was mad. I was there asking him
He was
questions.
looking at you.
I was a little freaked out, and I made all the girls sleep in the living room with me that night.
He was looking at you. He was specifically targeting you.
And I felt the distinct impression that he was wanting me to shut up.
He looked
Stop
pissed.
asking me questions and leave.
Darren said.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we left short. Yeah, right after that.
Yeah. That was like the end.
Yeah.
Darren says it has a big effect on the investigation. If you're going to get something specific, you're going to get something specific, you're going to get what you're looking for, but you may not like what you find.
And I agree. I agree with that statement. We were not ready for that.
I went there because it was a cave. We got to ride four-wheelers. We got to go into a cave. That's what this is for me, is just the adventure of going out. I wasn't looking for anything, and I certainly wasn't expecting anything.
No, and we only did it because we thought, let's just see if we can get anything.
Just for fun.
Let's see if this works without any electrical interference. Maybe it's getting something from, that was what I was thinking was, let's see if this little contraption works when there's no way it's getting a signal from anything.
Yeah.
And there's no electrical interference from anything. So I'm curious to see if this contraption even works. And
yeah, because normally with the spirit box, you'll flip through the radio stations and you can hear them all. But when we were in the cave, nothing. There was nothing. And so I was curious too to know if anything would come through.
Which surprises me, that's why we didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And my thermal imager did not get any no electrical interference from that either.
Right.
So that glitch was not electrical interference.
No.
Unless my cell phone causes it, but I doubt that because nothing was.
It hasn't before.
Yeah.
No. And everything was turned off but the phone or the camera. So.
And yeah, it hasn't been before. Why would it have been?
Yeah. So Hunter said she was freaked out for about a week and she didn't know what we had captured on audio.
She wasn't there that night when we heard.
Is this the first time she's heard this?
No. Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
Wait. Is Hunter? You should tell us. And then, would Hunter ever go back to the cave?
Yeah.
She's the one that got touched.
Don't tell Grandma.
Yeah. She won't tell Grandma.
She won't remember.
Don't tell your mom either.
No. Don't tell your mom. But yeah,
I think her mom wants.
or Hunter, would you ever go on an investigation with us again?
Do you want to go to the tuberculosis hospital? We have room for 2 more people.
2 more people? Yeah, we never go looking for this kind of stuff.
This is the first time she's heard the.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Ooh.
How did you feel about it, Hunter, when you heard it? She saw the thermal
She didn't hear
afterwards,
anything. This is the first time we're telling her.
and she did. She felt she got touched, but she didn't hear the audio. So I don't know.
We said that we would go back. I wouldn't tell either one. I'll do it again.
Awesome. That's the adventure spirit I like.
I can't believe we never told Hunter what we got.
Well, I think she knew part of what we got, but I don't think she knew the whole. She knew it was something evil. I don't know.
Something wicked this way
If
comes.
she was spooked out the whole time and didn't know what we heard,
Right.
she probably got a weird feeling.
Yeah. So, I mean, other people of the group did get weird vibes and wanted to leave soon, and we packed up shortly after that and left. I felt a heavier presence, but I wouldn't say that I necessarily felt spooked out. But then again, over the years, I have really learned to put my guard up. And so maybe that's why I didn't. Did you, Michael? Not really.
I was starting to worry that maybe I'd lost the ability to sense.
That was almost me. Like, have we done this too much? And I did.
But then we had other experiences where I did sense it, and there was something there. So I'm kind of glad that I felt it later on, but I really didn't feel anything at that
Maybe
cave.
the spirit wasn't evil. He was just wanting us to get the crap out of there, so he's trying to scare us.
You know, a lot of college kids spend their time in there, and the thought came to me was they were screwing around with us, trying to scare us, like a ghost saying, "I'm going to try and scare you."
Yeah.
Hunter said hopefully she wants to ride backwards on the 4-wheeler again. She said, I didn't know what we had caught on the recorder until about a month later. Even then, I didn't know about all of it.
Yeah, she's in that video too, where you see 3 of us on the 4-wheeler because we were a little bit short on 4-wheelers, and she's riding backwards, and I'm in the back.
You can drive in there, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No,
I don't know. I guess
I wouldn't.
maybe get the Jeep.
I wouldn't take.
Yeah, Jeep, yeah, but not not.
I don't know that I even took our Hummer in there. I don't know.
We took our Hummer to the witching tree, and that's pretty bad road.
True. Speaking of the witching tree, that one's coming up, and we got some really
I
good.
think that's my favorite investigation we've ever.
I think mine too. We got a lot of evidence, Michael, and I've got some stuff on there that you haven't heard yet.
Well, I don't get to hear a lot of it because I'm watching the thermal imager, so I don't hear everything.
We just were going through the audio, and there's something on there that I was like, what? Did I hear what I thought I heard? And 3 other people verified. So, and I want to get your reaction when you hear it. So.
Cool.
It's gonna be good.
I did get a face above you again, like that cave. It was a face like.
And I did feel something there when you, because I asked, is there something on my left shoulder or near my left shoulder? And that's when you captured that image. But
Darren says try the blindfold experiment to enhance your experience in the cave and see if you can just tell by feelings how you feel.
That's a good idea.
We should do that in the TV hospital.
We do turn off our flashlights in the cave for a few minutes, and it is
creepy,
inky black. It's so dark.
But I can't even see your hand at all.
I do agree, though, that when you've got your eyes closed and absolutely no vision, that your other senses are heightened. I wouldn't recommend walking through the cave with the blindfold on, but I think putting it on and just
sit down first and then do that. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea because then you are more aware of all your other senses. But we are way out of time. Anything you want to add before we sign off?
No, I
want to thank everybody for joining us. We've been really excited to show you what we captured, and we appreciate all of you for following us and supporting us and all that stuff. Thank you so much. Real quick, we want to just do October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Cosette mentioned that she heard the latest episode of Crime Junkies, and it is about domestic violence. If you haven't heard it, we recommend listening to it, just so you can be more aware of the problem that is occurring. I got a shocking statistic. The number of U.S. troops killed in Afghanistan and Iraq between 2001 and 2012 was 6,488. The number of women who were murdered or by their current or ex-male partners during that same time frame was almost double. It was 11,766. That's according to the Huffington Post. So to get more information, you can go to www.hotline.org. There's a website there that has a lot of information. If you're in an abusive situation, if you want to volunteer, if you want to know how to identify abuse, if you need a plan for safety, all that kind of stuff is there. And you can also call 737-225-3150. Again, that's 737-225-3150. So just check it out. Do what you can do to help and bring awareness to this problem. I have a hard time with words. I'm really sorry. And anyway, we want to have you join us next week.
What are we doing next week?
What's the date?
It's either the witching tree or the reform. Wait, no.
Next week is the 14th. Is that the week Michelle's going to be joining us?
It depends on what Michelle's going to be doing.
We have to have Michelle join us for the prison. So we'll either be doing the prison investigation or the witching tree.
Witching tree is going to be really good.
They're both going to be really good.
I didn't hear the other one, so.
Yeah, they'll both be really good. So one of those two. And then again, on the 21st, we have Chuck Zukowski joining us to talk about cattle mutilations. And Mike and I will be talking about some of the experiences we had growing up. I'm really excited for that one. I've wanted to meet Chuck for years. If you want to prepare for that, read the book, The 37th Parallel, and watch The Alien Highway on the Travel Channel. It's really good. Okay. So till next time, find your own destination.
And solve the mystery.
Watch on.
Stay weird.
See ya.
Bye.